Hello, everyone. Dylan here. Welcome back to your, of course, favorite podcast, Don't Cry Over Spilled Tea. Let's go ahead and get straight into this. Our segments today are going to be a little bit short, but we have a good story time coming ahead. So, first thing that I want to do, add a little bit of heat. First topic of discussion that we have on for today is going to be honestly the biggest one out of them all. Have you, I not even have you seen, you guys have seen the relationship that the two main stars of Wicked have been having, Miss Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Um, I like I said, I know you guys have seen this stuff. The videos that I've always seen around look so crazy whenever you see the two of them, where they're doing their interviews and they just look like so obsessed with one another. And while I guess like being kind of obsessed with your friends is one thing, they just look absolutely crazy whenever you see them in interviews together, whenever you see them on the red carpets together, things like that. There was even a video that I had seen of the two of them where they, I want to say like somebody had shook Ariana Grande's hand, and whenever they had finished shaking her hand, Ariana had went over to Cynthia and was like looking at her hand. Both of them were inspecting her hand as if something crazy had happened to it, as if she had gotten slapped or something like that. But something that I had just seen either today or yesterday was a TikTok talking about the two of them, and it had said that they were in some like demi girl, one of them crazy fucking names that you hear certain people talk about, some type of relationship. And while I should have did a little bit of digging, I honestly didn't have enough interest to do so, but it was a crazy fucking relationship. I don't know if it's like an attraction type of relationship or what the fuck it is, guy. I don't know. I told you I couldn't even say the fucking name of it. It's that fucking weird. But I always see videos of people talking about their relationship, and they say that once their contract is up with Wicked, the interviews and the documentaries about that fucking movie are going to go crazy. And that's one thing that I'm going to tune. Haven't tuned into Wicked, haven't turned into the most recent thing that they had went out with, and I'm not going to. But the documentary, I'm gonna want to know about that, guys. So you'll catch me in the theater. Next thing I want to talk about, there was a court hearing between Cardi B and her former husband, baby daddy Offset. And I think they've kind of been going on a long standing battle with the two of them whenever it comes to not only custody, but like how money's going to be split up and everything like that. But something that I had seen is that Offset is taking Cardi B to court in order to get more money out of her. And while, I mean, we usually see the women going after men and getting their settlement out of them, I just think it's so crazy to hear a man doing it to a woman. And I think it, like I said, it's just not normal. We don't see it, but like, girl, I guess the Migos just did not pop off the way that Migos was expecting to pop off, because girl, he does not got the coin to pay for the lawyers. He does not have the coin to pay for the lifestyle. Just absolutely crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. Last thing that I want to talk about in our Let's Add Some Heat segment is going to be Miss Kandi Burruss from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. We're not going to get too much into Atlanta today. I kind of want to take a break from it, but had to put it in here so we'd have a couple of things to add some heat to. Miss Kandi Burruss and her now former husband, Todd Tucker, are getting into a divorce. And just like my Real Housewives of Atlanta stans are going to say, it was probably a scheme that Todd set up. But I can tell you one thing. One person who's going to be definitely happy about this is going to be Mama Joyce. Because I bet you anything, whenever Mama Joyce got the headlines for it, she was over at Kandi's house rejoicing in the sound of them two getting divorced. But yeah, guys, with that being said, that was our Let's Add Some Heat segment. There was an elephant in the room that we need to talk about that was in the room a couple of episodes. We're missing a fucking nail, guys. We're missing a nail again. What's new? And guys, I busted this hoe doing some, not even doing some crazy stuff. I was picking up a box and I set it down and it fell on the nail the wrong way. And guys, bleeding. Trigger warning, trigger warning. It was bleeding. It was so damn. It was a mess. It was a mess. And so I just haven't put a nail on it yet so it could heal. But this week I'm going to have to put it on because I'm about to go to a trip. So they're going to have to be done by the time the trip comes around, guys. But now that that elephant's out of the room, how are we liking the glam today? How are we liking the hair? This outfit, if I do want to kind of snitch on myself, this outfit was supposed to be a dress, but me and Homegirl were putting it on and the thing was too damn short. You were going to see cookie bits left and right, front and center. So we had to go ahead and put on a little brown zebra moment to cover all the goodies up because this is not that type of podcast. But now that those two little elephants are out of the room, let's get on to our next segment. Let's add some sugar. So these ones are kind of funny, and I think that the fact that the segment is surrounded by one person is even funnier. But if you guys are chronically on TikTok and you have ever seen Shamar, you would know that Shamar was just in a Tubi movie. And while I haven't watched the movie, from the clips that I have seen, it looks like he's kind of like the, how do you say, like the ringleader or like the boss out of them. And the guys that are in it, mind you, guys that are in it, fucking hot. Fucking hot. But the guys that are in it are like terrified of Shamar. And I think it's the funniest thing in the world because there's this one clip where Shamar is riding because he's on a fucking bike, riding up to this house, and he goes to like jump off the bike, almost busts ass. I don't know how they left that in the cut and didn't do another reshoot of it. But he jumps off the bike, almost busts ass, and goes and talks to the guys, and the guys are genuinely so fucking scared of him. So funny. And with Shamar being brought up, there was another thing that I've been seeing on TikTok a lot, and maybe you've seen them before, maybe you haven't. I feel like it's a very brain rotty thing to see. But there have been these episodes with Shamar in them that I've been seeing where it's like a TikTok account. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. If I can find it, I'll put it in the podcast so that I can shout them out. But they have been making these episodes where it has like Shamar, it has Ash Trevino, and it has like Beyonce Peaches, if you guys remember Peaches. And it's literally just like stickers of them, and she's putting them in like school, and it's just like these little reenactments, like these make-believe reenactments of stuff going on, but Shamar being the main character. And he'll get into beef with Ashley, he'll go to parties, he'll get his ass beat by his mom. It's just, guys, you have to watch it in order to understand it because it sounds so funny. It sounds so crazy, but they are so damn funny. You need to watch it. And like I said, I'm gonna find the ladies' TikTok or the individual's TikTok so that I can put it in here so you guys can see what I'm talking about because they're just so damn funny. But only two things for let's add some sugar. Let's go ahead and add some ice. So there was something that I talked about in I want to say the last episode, where it was some of the Epstein files being brought up. And one of the things that was a topic was Mr. Donald Trump giving favors to certain individuals on the island. And well, one thing that I had heard, the first thing that I had heard was that the person that Donald was doing this with was former President Bill Clinton. But after recent news came out, apparently, I think her name is Ghislaine Maxwell, the ex-wife, best friend, whatever she was to Epstein, had a horse, and the horse's name was also Bubba. So while it might have been Bill Clinton, you would hope that it was fucking Bill Clinton. It could have been a horse that Donald Trump was giving certain favors to. But just like I'm going to say at the end of this video, everything's alleged. You didn't hear this from me. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. But other than that, I think another thing that I had seen coming out of the Epstein files was that apparently they're starting to drop names, things like that, on who was at the island, what they were doing. They've like uncovered so many emails of things that have been going on, that did go on at the island, not happen. But apparently people are trying to like pay to get their names taken off of it. people are trying to silence pretty much the government to not fucking talk about it, even though people should know about it. Victims should be paid and victims should have their names heard too. Um, but honestly, it's still an ongoing case. I haven't seen any more information come out about it, but whenever I do, it's going to definitely be a topic of discussion on here. With that being said, guys, I wanted to go ahead and get into our story time. This one can be a pretty long story time. It's a very funny story time too. But I want you guys to go ahead and put that tea in your mugs, grab your mugs, get comfy. Let's go ahead and get into the story time of whenever I was stealing from Walmart in the 7th grade. Okay, picture this. Close your eyes, open your imagination. So, me, 7th grade Dylan, I want to say, what age are you whenever you're in 7th grade? Maybe like 11, 12, 13, maybe like 13. I think those are like your teen years. 13-year-old Dylan going to the middle school that I lived by. And well, by the middle school that I had lived by, there was a Walmart right there. And so me and my badass little friends that I had made acquaintances with, would get there super, super early. My mom would go to work at like 8 a.m. So that means my fat ass was at that damn doorstep of the school by about 7:15, 7:20, so that she could go to her job. So whenever that had happened, I had made friends with a couple of, because I used to be on the tennis team, guys. I had made friends with a couple of the people that were on the tennis team, plus one of them I had went to elementary school with. Well, the other person that I had met through tennis, we had started hanging out in the mornings because we would go to like 5 a.m. practices or whatever. And after that, we just hang out. Well, we would get bored of just like being at school before school started because we were there for basically an hour before school started. So one of my friends had brought up the idea of why don't we go to Walmart? So I was like, okay, yeah, fun. Let's go to Walmart. And I think it had to have been around like the time of my birthday or something like that. My birthday's right by school. So I think I had some birthday money. So we had ended up leaving school, not ditching or anything. We did it before school had started. But we had left school maybe like 7:30, 7:45-ish. And we had made our way to Walmart. So one thing to know is in order to get from the school that I was at to go to Walmart, there was a humongous cinder block wall that blocked Walmart from the residential areas. And by that cinder block wall was a little bitty opening between another cinder block wall that was somebody's house where you could squeeze through and then walk to Walmart. Because the only other alternative was to walk all the way down to a main road, cut a right, and it was going to take probably 20, 25 more minutes than what we had. So we would cut through that little pathway and we would go to Walmart. So I want to say the first couple of times that we went, I didn't steal just yet. I think we had literally went just to like look at stuff. We probably bought like candies, chips, whatever the hell fat ass little kids buy at that age. And then we would have to squeeze our little ways through the cinder block wall again and we would make it back to school. So I want to say maybe like the second, third, no, it couldn't have been the second time. It had to have been like a handful of times after going to Walmart since we found that little spot that we had started 5-finger discount in that bitch. So, and before you guys look at me crazy, obviously stealing is wrong. I would never steal at this grown age. But I was like 12 years old. What the fuck were you going to let a... I was a badass little 12-year-old. Get over it. So I want to say the first couple of things that we had ever stolen was the same things that we would buy. So we went there and we stole candy. We stole little chocolates, chips. And then once we got a little bit more comfortable with stealing over there, we made our way to the other side of the store, which was the makeup. So we would go over there and guys, cue this, 2013, no, it had to have been like 2014, 2015. 2014, 2015, the makeup was not what the makeup is now. So we were over there stealing powdery, ashy, patchy blushes, the ugliest, most drying foundations possible. I want to say that I stole like a Milani blush. It was horrible. I did steal a little Milani pomade. Worst pomade in the world, guys. I hate pomades in general, but the Milani one, it's last place for me. It's last place for me. Anastasia was the only way to go for me back then. But even now, if I were to use a pomade. But would steal that. I think we would steal like highlighters, things like that. And then I remember so vividly that there was a, I want to say, no, this had to have been at CVS, still around that time. But there was a collab that Katy Perry had did with CVS where they had like an array of lipsticks. And I remember my tacky little ass had gotten the bright purple shade. And I thought that I was pure stunting on them hoes at school. Pure stunting on them hoes at school. And that was the ugliest lipstick that you probably ever could have imagined. Other than a green one. But girl, I was just a fat ass little boy. Didn't know how to do makeup. Just wearing a purple lipstick to school. And I want to say after a few times of doing that, I would start telling my friends like, okay guys, we're going to go to Walmart. Well, who wants what? And we would literally be the Robin Hoods of that middle school. So I want to say a few months down the line, we had ended up getting in trouble by our principal, not for stealing, but for leaving campus. So she yelled at us for leaving campus. It was a big whoop. Obviously we didn't fucking listen to her. Girl, it was before school. Who cares? So we ended up getting in trouble. Whoop-de-woo. We would still go to Walmart. There was a time whenever we would go to Walmart that, okay, close your eyes, open your brain. So I was a 7th grader stealing whenever we were going to Walmart stealing. Well, during the time that I was a 7th grader, we had an 8th grade class and we had a freshman class still. It was right before our city had merged over to have freshmen at the high school. So we had freshmen there at my middle school. And well, a couple of times that we would go, we would see people kind of like following behind us, or we would see people like leaving right before we had gotten to that little intersection that I had told you where we had to squeeze through the cinder block wall. So I want to say that this had to have been like around springtime. So we had been stealing probably going to Walmart from October, stealing maybe November-ish, and now we're in maybe like February, March. And well, there was this one time that we were sneaking through to go to Walmart, and there were these guys in between the two cinder block walls where we would have to squeeze through to leave, and they were just smoking. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for that, but they were smoking weed. And never been afraid of that stuff, never been scared of that stuff, never thought a type of way about stuff like that. But I was just like, oh, okay. While our fat asses are just going to Walmart to steal makeup and candy, these people are over here rolling up to get high before they go to school. Crazy. But there was this one, guys. This isn't going to be a horror story time, guys, but I have to say it. So, cute one that I had a little crush on was in there rolling up with his friends. And guys, whenever I tell you that this cinder block wall, you see the distance between this chair right now. It wasn't even this. You had to suck in and go sideways in order to fit through that little cinder block wall. So whenever we had went to go to Walmart, they were in there. So we were just like, oh, excuse us. And they were like, oh, y'all can pass through, whatever. How? Guys, how? Explain to me how. So me being a fat ass little 7th grader, was like, I'm not going to fit there. Y'all are going to have to get out. Baby, I was not delusional. I knew I was fucking big. So I was like, y'all are going to have to get out. I'm not going to be able to fit right there. And they were like, sure you can. Just try. Oh my gosh, like why couldn't they just get out? Mind you guys, they were at the front of the cinder block wall. It's not like they were going to have to go a big old distance before they were going to get out. And so I was just like, warned ya. So here big fat Judy comes, squeezing through, just shimmying in. And I had to hop over the guy, not hop over, but squeeze through the guys in order to get through. And well, while I didn't want to do it with the other ones, I realized that I was going to have to squeeze through my crush. And so here Big Bertha comes, squeezing through the cinder block walls. And well, as I'm going, I think one of my girlfriends had went first. My little guy friend had went second. And then it was me. Fuck. Okay. And then it was me. So I had watched them walk through, and he was just kind of like letting people walk through. So squeezing through them, I had seen how the guy had his hands up for the other two. And so as me walking by, I'm like, okay, I feel a little bit more comfortable. Like, at least he's like being a little bit mindful of us, like walking by him. Wouldn't you be fucking surprised that he would? I guess he might have been a chubby chaser, guys. Cause why the second that I'm starting to walk by, the hands go from here to here, and so I'm walking by him, but to his side, and all I feel is a grab as I'm walking by, and I was like, oh my gosh, is he helping me or is he helping me? Like I did not know what the hell he was doing. Cause guys, I had it without him. I did not need his help to squeeze through him. I did not. But all I felt was his hands on my butt squeezing as like I'm going by, and I was like, what the hell? But then I realized obviously who I was walking by, so I was like, what the hell? Like, was this a potential love story in the making? Never acted on it though, guys. So I ended up going back to Walmart a couple times in the morning, stealing, whoop de woo. And there was a time where we would get out in a half day. So I guess teachers could like grade papers for like our little 6-week courses or whatever. And so instead of us going home, what did we do? We went to Walmart and stole. So afternoons we would go over there, and I remember me and my little gay friend that I had back then, we had stolen, we went from candy and chips to makeup to now we were stealing clothes. Guys, my bill must have been insane for Walmart. But so we're on to clothes, and it's a half day. We're there in the daytime, and we had stolen like the ugliest like friend shirts ever. And I don't think they were like friend shirts like my left, my right or something like that. But it was just like a matching shirt, ugly shirt. And we had gotten those together. And then another thing that we had gotten was sports bras, guys. I thought that I was in my prepubescent womanly puberty era, guys. And so gotten a bra because I remember, girls, these Chi-Chi's always been here, guys. Chi-Chi's always been there. I remember in 7th grade, me and my little skinny homegirl would sit there in class grabbing each other's and being like, mine's bigger, no, mine's bigger. So I was like, you know what, guys? I think I need a sports bra because Big Mama's back be hurting after the day, so I need something to push him up. So got us some sports bras, and the rest of the semester, second semester, me and my friend would walk into school, and well, whenever we would get there early, you could either stand outside before school had started, or they would open up the gymnasium so that you could sit on the bleachers there too. So we made sure to get an entrance every single time. We would walk from one side of the school, walk past all the people that were standing outside that didn't want to go in. We would walk inside and then walk through the gymnasium to the opposite side so we could just walk by, popping our gum and popping our bra straps, guys. And this lasted for this didn't last too long, but it lasted long enough. I think it lasted maybe like a month. And we would just walk through school, popping our straps, popping our little bra straps, gymnasium, through classes, and especially in the cafeteria. We would just get into the cafeteria. We would walk through the gymnasium, we would walk through classes, and we would walk through lunch doing it too. And the second we would go into the lunch cafeteria and we would sit on my assigned table, there we went. Every single time. We thought we were killing them bitches. Bad. But I want to say we only wore them for like a couple of months. Not because like we got in trouble or anything like that. I think we just got over it. Like we were like, why are we boys wearing bras? But other than that, I think... And I never got caught, guys. Never got caught. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, that I never got caught. But I remember one day I had cut it so close. And as we were leaving Walmart, we had gotten our little 5-finger discount things that we wanted, and we dipped. Well, I had 2 other friends that were there that were getting greedy with it. They weren't being smart. They were just being greedy. And so they were stealing a bunch of stuff. Well, as we walked out, I want to say that one of the associates working there was like, did you guys come by yourself? And I was like, damn, do I tell them that my friends are still in here, or do I just leave and save myself? Sure did leave and save my fucking self. I was like, no, only me and him, my little gay friend. Me and him came in here. I don't know who else is in here. It's just us 2. And they were like, oh, because they're stealing. And I was like, I don't steal. Meanwhile, backpack was full. Backpack was full of all the orders that I had to go and deliver at the school. Backpack was full, so I was like, I don't steal. I come in here to get juice, and that's it. So I ended up leaving. My homegirl calls me, and she's like, did you guys get in trouble? And I was like, fuck no, we didn't. And then she was like, oh my gosh, why did the associate come up to us and was telling us, like, y'all are going to go to jail. We're going to call your mom, da da da, because we caught them stealing. And then I was like, well, y'all should have left whenever we left because they could tell y'all were being greedy. But I think other than that, it was only 7th grade that we had went and stole. I think 8th grade we grew up and we weren't doing it no more, guys. But I want to say it was really only Walmart that I ever did it at. I think, well, that CVS lipstick that I told you about, that Katy Perry one, stole that too. But I want to say Sephora. I don't think I started going to Sephora until I was in like 8th grade, but never stole at Sephora, never stole at Ulta. And I would trick Target. Hopefully, nobody ever wants a brand deal from me, guys. But trick Target because I remember and it was the dumbest thing ever. It was the dumbest thing ever, but honestly, it was low key a Karen moment of mine because I buy this very specific shaving cream. And what I remember at a point in time, the workers would put the shaving cream in the wrong area. And there was the 1-pack that you could buy, and there was the 2-pack. Well, I would get the 2-pack because why go to the store multiple times when you can only go a couple times? So I would get the multiple or the 2-pack. And well, they would put the 2-pack where the 1-pack was. So I would always make sure to take a picture and then I would bring it to the front and be like, this is wrong. This is wrong. And they would switch it for me every single time. But I don't think that's stealing. I just think I was being very Pacific. That's what I think I was doing. But other than that, guys, that was our grab your mugs. I think this one's going to be a little short like the last one was. Let's go ahead and jump into our next segment. Let's talk about things that are getting my kettle whistling right now. So put them tea kettles back on the burner. Put that bitch on high. Let's get that water boiling, guys. So first topic of discussion. I want to talk about, and it's been something that I've been witnessing for like a couple of months now, but it's something that is really making me mad right now. I have been online shopping because, you know, holidays are coming up. And, well, I remember, and I don't know if it's for different websites. I really haven't seen it on any of the websites that I've ordered frequently on. But do you guys remember that you used to get an option of super fast shipping, pretty fast shipping, normal shipping, and you could even get like a delayed shipping and get like a discount off of stuff? Guys, why have I only been seeing standard shipping across everywhere? And whenever I tell you that has been pissing me off, it's been pissing me off. I ordered Christmas gifts probably almost 2 weeks ago at this point. And have they came in yet? No. Have I gotten anything to track those said shipments? No. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, well, if I knew it was going to take this long, I would have ordered fast shipping." But with that being said, I had ordered something else from the website that I had ordered from. There wasn't even an option. And so I was like, oh my gosh. Because I've noticed it with the website that I ordered from. I've noticed it with Ulta. I've noticed it with Fashion Nova. I don't know what the hell is going on with these carriers anymore, but they're not doing the fast shipping like they used to do it. Next thing I want to talk about. I feel like this really happens whenever you order your coffee, but I've noticed it at the bars too. Have you ever ordered a drink, your go-to drink, a drink that you know exactly how it's supposed to taste, and one time it's perfect. It tastes exactly how you need it to taste. And then you go a second time, whether it be that same day or whether it be a couple days down the road, you order that same exact drink and it is nothing like it is supposed to be. And okay, where I would notice this the most was at Starbucks. I noticed at Starbucks sometimes my drinks would be way too sweet. It would be way too bitter. There wouldn't be enough water, or there wouldn't be enough ice in it. So whatever heat was in it watered down the ice in there. And so it would taste watery. Or even with the matchas, I noticed sometimes they don't mix the matcha enough. And so it's so powdery. But now I'm a converted 7 Brew girly. And I feel like 7 Brew gets my order done perfectly almost every single time. But there are some times where they make it even more perfect than it's supposed to be. And I can't get it like that on a regular basis because I don't know what it is that they did. But I feel like I said, I feel like you see that more whenever you're ordering like coffees and stuff like that. I really don't think you would notice it too much at the bar. But even whenever I've ordered my tequila and Sprites, even whenever I've ordered my Chiltons that I get, sometimes they do taste a little bit different. Let me know if you guys feel the same way about that. Next thing that I want to talk about, whenever you go to a fast food place, whether it be a Sonic, whether it be a McDonald's, whether it be a Burger King, whatever it may be, I do not understand, and I'll tell you this firsthand because I used to work at a little drive-in. I do not understand why companies tell you as the employee to overfill the cup with ice. Cup is this big, there's this much ice in it. I do not understand why companies do that and then give 5 sips worth of soda to each individual customer. And while some people might be like, oh, we'll order no ice because it already comes out cold. Oh, just order light ice. You order it and they still give you the same amount of fucking ice. What do you do then? What do you do then? Because all I can say is I have a fucking gun and I'm going to use it. That's all I can say. But I kid you not, guys, I hate so much whenever I slip up and I forget to say easy ice. And it is the most rock solid cup that you could ever imagine feeling. And you get 4 to 5 sips out of it and the rest is ice. And whenever I tell you guys, I love eating ice. But I also like drinking soda. And if I paid for a soda, I want to be able to drink that soda and not just eat the ice that somewhat tastes like that soda. Don't you guys feel the same as me? With that being said, next thing I want to talk about, if you guys order through multiple sites, whether that be Shein, whether that be Fashion Nova, whether that be Zara, whether that be whatever you order from, guys, one thing that gets my kettle whistling amongst all of these stores is that where you may be, say, a size 8 at this store, you're not a size 8 at the next store. You're a size 10 at the next store. And where now you think that you're a size 10 and not a size 8, you go to the next store and you're a size 6. You go to the next store and you're a size 12. You go to the next store and you're a size 8 to 10. Guys, why do these companies all have different size ranges? Why do they all have different size ranges? Why does everything fit different? And then what's even worse is whenever you order from said company that you love ordering from, minus Fashion Nova, love ordering through Fashion Nova. Mama's a big girl, okay? So whenever y'all hear my size, keep the mouth shut. I am a size 16, okay? I got a fat ass and long legs. That's why I'm a size 16, okay? I'm a size 16 in Fashion Nova. And well, where I fit their jeans very well a lot of the time, sometimes I'll get a size 16 and it either sits way too low, almost like a mid to low rise, or there's other times where it's way too big and then other times where it does not fit at all. Fashion Nova, I thought y'all were my friends. Fashion Nova honestly has always been the best one whenever it comes to getting my size right and getting things to fit perfectly. But there are the occasional fuck ups where, like I said, things don't fit right. Don't get me started on shoes too, guys. Because just like the body, the foot's big on this bitch too, okay? So, I cannot wear girl shoes. While I can wear the girl clothes, I cannot wear girl shoes. I got a big fucking foot. Big foot. And so in a men's shoe, I am usually like an 11 and a half. And so whenever you convert a men's size shoe to a woman's size shoe, it's usually about a size and a half to 2 sizes different. So where you would think that I would be maybe like a 13 and a half, 14 in a woman's shoe, guys, I have all types of sizes of shoes in my closet that range from a 10 in women's to an 11 to a 12 in women's. And then whenever it comes to the Europeans, I think I have a 41 in there. I think I have a 42 and a half in there. Nothing is ever the same, guys. And it makes me so mad because imagine trying to order something online. And guys, online returning is the worst thing in the fucking world. I would rather just give it away than return it. Hate returning online. But imagine trying to buy something online. You wait for the long amount of shipping because just like in our first one, the shipping isn't ever fucking right and you don't get the options for it. And you wait that long amount of time, you finally get the shoe and it does not fit because while you thought that you were a size 11, while you thought that you were a size 42, you're not a size 42, you're not a size 11. While you thought that those jeans were going to fit because you were a size 12 in every other fucking company, oh, these are actually a size 14 over here. So annoying, guys. I need companies to do better and get on the same universal, how do you say it? the same program. I need them all to be on the same program. But with all of that, guys, this has been episode 4 of our podcast, the Don't Cry Over Spilled Tea podcast. Just like I said during our Let's Add Some Ice, don't cry over spilled tea. Bye, guys.